wake up the world. We're just boys and girls. We can still wake up the world. We're just boys and girls. We can still wake up the world.
Hi friends, it's time for Wake the World Up. I have a question for you. It's a big question. What is God like? God is holy, good, and loving. We have seen God show that he is holy, good, and loving in a lot of ways through Moses' story. Let's pop over to Newsy News to see what is happening next.
It's time for Newsy News!
I'm Stormy Goodfellow, and it's time for Newsy News. We have been following a developing story about Moses and the Israelites being led by a holy, good, and loving God to a land that he promised them. We have seen God show his power in ways that only he can. Let's welcome Tim Trusterson to the show. He is an expert on obedience, and he is going to help us make sense of what is happening with God's people. Welcome, Tim.
It's great to be here. This story, these people are so interesting. You know what is a great game? Simon Says. Love it, love that game, my favorite. You hear a direction and you do it. The Israelite people should have played a little more Simon Says, a little less wham wham whiny time.
Wham wham whiny timey and Simon Says. Interesting. We're so glad you are here to help us understand the situation. It's not every day that we get to have an expert on the show. Shall we get started? We've been following along with Moses, and he has listened to God and led his people out of slavery.
Moses did well in that part. God said, tell Pharaoh to let his people go. It's them going away. And he listened and obeyed. Pharaoh kept saying, no. Moses kept doing it. That was good. God said it. Moses did it. Simon Says.
That is true. Moses was doing a great job listening to what God said and doing it. What about those Israelites, though?
Yeah, whiny timey. God told them he would deliver them and take care of them. Then they got hungry and thirsty and whiny, thus the frowny faces. God provided for them with manna, quail, and water to drink. As you can see, all this food is coming down to them. God said, take just what you need for the day, but they didn't. They didn't. You get that? They didn't take just what they needed. Spelling Simon Says, but they didn't play Simon Says. Some of them took more than they needed because they were afraid. And because they didn't obey, that extra food turned into nasty maggots. Whew.
That's true. Wow, you're right. They should have just obeyed God because he is holy, good, and loving. What happened next was really crazy.
Yes, so the people were so close to the promised land. God told Moses to send some scouts in to check it out while everyone else waited. So Moses did what God said. He sent some men to the promised land. And they walked around to check it out for 40 days.
So far, so good on this one. They listened and obeyed God.
Yeah, but then the scouts came back, and most of them played wham wham whiny time all over again. They came back, said to all the waiting people, we can't go in there. The land is awesome, but it is protected, and the people are huge. We look like grasshoppers compared to them. All of the Israelites started to freak out. They cried, what are we going to do? We need a new leader. Let's pack our bags and go back to Egypt.
Wow, they forgot again that God is holy, good, and loving. They forgot God promised them that land. They forgot to obey.
That wasn't the last time they forgot. God was angry that they disobeyed him, so they had to walk in the desert again and wait. Then Moses made a choice to play wham wham whiny timey too.
Oh no, not Moses!
I'm afraid so. Moses met with God in the tabernacle. God told him to stand in front of a rock and speak to it. Then water would flow out for the people to drink.
That sounds like an easy enough instruction.
But instead, Moses called people over to the rock. He was so frustrated with them and with the situation that he used his staff. And you know what he did? He didn't obey God. He hit it 2 times. 2 times. 2 times. 2 times. God told him to speak to the rock, not to hit it. As an obedience expert, I can tell you that when we choose not to obey, there are consequences, and God was frustrated. He was sad. Moses was playing whiny timey all over.
That's true today, too. We have consequences for our choices. What were the consequences that Moses and the Israelites had?
There were a few consequences because the people chose to play whiny timey. God sent snakes, nasty critters, snakes all over to all the people. The snakes were creepy and bit them. Not what you want to face from God. They realized they were not trusting and obeying their holy, good, and loving God. Because of the choices Moses and the adult Israelites made, they were not able to go into the promised land. Never let in again. No, nada, zilch, never going in. God chose a new leader to bring his people to the promised land. Goodbye, Moses. You are no more, man. You are out of here, booted.
That is sad. I hope that the new leader helps get God's people to the promised land. Moses and the people disobeyed God. We do that too when we sin. But God sent Jesus, who always obeyed God. When we trust in Jesus, he brings us into God's kingdom forever. He is holy, good, and loving. Thank you, Mr. Trusterson, for being with us today and teaching us about obedience through our story. I'm going to make sure I am not playing whiny timey when I should be playing Simon Says. That's all for us today. Tune in next time to see what happens in the journey to the promised land.
Let's get together and chit chat. Yeah.
Hello, friends. Yay! It is chit chat time. Miss Chelsea, that was a crazy story.
It was. We saw that Moses and the Israelite people spent a lot of time not following God's directions.
No, I kept watching it and wanting to say, oh no, let's just do it all together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh no. So
We know that God is holy, good, and loving. There is no one like him.
yeah, Moses and the Israelites got really grumpy in our story a few times. Like our expert said, they spent more time playing whiny timey instead of Simon Says. Hey, let's play a little Simon Says with our expert before we talk more about our story.
Hey, what's going on? It is your obedience expert, Tim Trusterson here. You know what we're doing? We're gonna play a fun little game of Simon Says. Now, I'm gonna be Simon in this instance. You can play it any other time. You can be Simon if you really want to. We're gonna start. The first time, you guys know how to play, right? Simon Says. I say something, you do it. Easy enough, right? So, Simon says, point at the person closest to you. You guys pointing? Good pointing. I'm pointing. I see a couple points. Good, all right. Next, Simon says to rub your belly. Nice circles, just like this. You doing it? Rub your belly, getting hungry? Thinking about some nice yummy food? I'm not, I'm not at all. Not me. Good job, good job, good job. All right, next, Simon says to touch your left ear. And you guys might be saying, that's not his left ear. It is my left ear. See, look at this. There, it's my left. Is it? Never know. But I hope you guys are touching your left ear. All right. Next, Simon says to wiggle your finger. Which finger? It doesn't matter. Any finger. As long as you're wiggling the finger, Simon says wiggle it. Good job, good job. All right. All right, you guys are doing pretty good at obeying so far, so we're gonna do it one more time. Simon says to rub your belly and scratch your head. Can you do it? This is pretty difficult for me to do as well, but I am the obedience expert, so of course I can do it. I see a couple of you guys doing that. You guys are doing great. Wow. You guys are truly obedience experts as well. You guys get the approval stamp from me, Tim Trusterson. Thank you so much for playing a quick game of Simon Says with me. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Now, back to Chit Chat.
Moses and the Israelites did not trust God's power or follow his directions.
I know that sometimes when I'm hot or tired or hungry, I get a little bit grumpy too. It's harder for me to follow directions when I'm grumpy. This story is a good reminder that there are consequences when we don't obey, just like there were consequences for Moses and his friends when they didn't obey.
Our consequences probably look a little different. We probably won't be surrounded by snakes like the Israelites, but we might have to miss out on something really great. We don't listen to our parents or our teachers, and we might have to miss out on a special treat or screen time, or maybe even miss recess. When we listen and obey, we get to have much more fun.
We have a new remember verse for this set of stories. It goes like this. There are no gods like you. Like this. No way. You are wonderfully holy. You are amazingly powerful, big muscles. And you do great miracles. We'll cover our eyes and then do happy fingers like this. Exodus 15:11. Let's try it together one more time. There are no gods like you. You are wonderfully holy. You are amazingly powerful. You do great miracles. Exodus 15:11. Friends, God is holy, good, and loving, and we should obey him. Bye.
Wow, that story was so interesting. I hope that I can play more Simon Says than wow, wow, whiny timey, remembering what God has done and that he is holy, good, and loving is so important. We can trust and obey him. He is great and he loves you so much.